A mental diet, according to Neville Goddard, is simply an inner conversation that you are having on a day-to-day basis. This is happening whether you are aware of it or not, but it's really as normal as sleeping, breathing, brushing your teeth. It's a very automatic process that's happening. And based off of how you identify yourself and how you identify how the world treats you, you are creating an inner dialogue with yourself all the time, and it's allowing you to fulfill this inner conversation out into your reality. For example, if I'm always having mental arguments with someone in my head, that will eventually play out because I'm assuming that to be true. I'm evoking that emotion and I'm feeling it to be real. Same thing in the other direction. If I am constantly seeing the best in people, if I believe that the universe is friendly, that everything good comes my way, and that I'm fully supported, then I will see evidence of that. Now, this inner dialogue is happening all the time. So this mental diet that Neville Goddard is referring to is really just, it's a lifestyle. In the sense, sorry, Willow's trying to knock my tripod. Stop, what are you? Okay, for the sake of this video, I want to be clear that a mental diet is not something that you are doing until you receive the manifestation and then you quit. A mental diet is a lifestyle, just like really any diet. Even if you aren't on a diet, you have a diet. Thinking about food, thinking about exercise, you have a diet, you have a routine. And so this isn't a quick fix, this isn't a crash diet, something that we would consider, especially in the US, okay? This is just how you live your life. I want to encourage you through this next part of the video to create an inner conversation with yourself, an elite mental diet that will get you whatever you want. Okay, this is very fun. In order to have an elite mental diet, we need to ask ourselves, the version of myself that is elite, what are they thinking, feeling, and doing? When you ask this question, a solution is given to you. And even if it's not automatic, even if it's not given to you immediately, there will be an answer to this problem, to this question. What does the version of myself think, feel, and act as an elite mental diet person? This is where I want to get into habits, because when we identify as the version of ourselves that is ideal, is elite, is the best version of themselves, then we tend to have habits that are in alignment with that. But how do habits form? Well, through this book right here, Atomic Habits by James Clear. James, he talks about the 4 behavioral laws of change. And he talks about how habits, when we want to make them stick, what are the 4 things that we need to consider in order to remain constant, okay? Constant in this change. The 4 things are that habits need to be obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. All 4 of these components will aid you in creating a very consistent routine for yourself. Now, it's also important to note here that what separates the professionals from the amateurs is, and people that are advanced in manifesting and people that aren't, is that the people that are very good at manifesting, they aren't easily rattled by 3D circumstances. They're able to maintain their composure. They also have fallen in love with the boredom, fallen in love with the process. They are no longer searching from video to video. They're no longer searching desperately for answers. Not to say that it isn't good to watch videos such as these, okay? I make these videos for fun, and I hope that these provide value to you. But what I'm saying here is that people that are really, really good on a subject oftentimes are allowing the experience to happen naturally. If I were to ask you something, how did you do that, for something that you're really good at doing, your answer would most likely be, it's just how things are. I'm just naturally good at that. Oh yeah, relationships, I'm really good at relationships. It's actually pretty normal for me. So this is the type of mental diet you want to incorporate. This is the mental diet that you're going to keep as a lifestyle. For example, when I lost over 40 pounds, I was in a really low vibrational state. I did not like myself. My body image, how I felt about myself, was very, very low. In order to think of myself in a different way, I had to train myself with a different set of thoughts that aligned with the version of myself that I knew would be thinking those things had I had a good relationship with food and a good relationship with the way I view myself. Now, it's been over 4 years. I've been able to maintain this weight consistently, and that's not by coincidence. It's simply because my mental diet does not allow any type of wavering. And even if there is an intrusive thought, which we will talk about, if there are intrusive thoughts that I have telling me that, oh, I'm going in the wrong direction, or I'm not doing something right, I will come back to soothing affirmations, a soothing mental diet that suits me to allow me to stay in that continuity. So let's talk about habits. Let's go back to the 4 behavioral laws. Making it obvious, making it attractive, easy, and satisfactory. Which, by the way, the 4th one being satisfactory, that is very emotion-based. But let's go into the first one. Making it obvious is going to look like having it in plain sight. If you're wanting to change your habits, you are going to make something obvious to you. For example, if I'm wanting to change how I view myself, I might make a vision board, and I might cut out a photo of somebody that I aspire to look like, somebody who has the physique that I think is really nice, and then I will put that in plain sight. I will make it obvious. It will be a reminder. Napoleon Hill talks about this with autosuggestion. He says to take a note card, write down exactly what your chief aim is, and read it over and over again throughout the day, 10 minutes before bed, 10 minutes in the morning, or however many minutes that you'd like. He says to take out that note card and make it obvious. Carry that note card with you throughout your day in your back pocket. This is because when you make a habit obvious, then you're more likely to stick with it. So that's just one example of making something obvious. Put it in plain sight. If something is invisible, then it tends to be something that you forget about. The second thing about habits is you want to make it attractive. What exactly about this habit is going to be enticing? So for example, if I don't like doing laundry, then I am going to tell myself, hey, when you do laundry, you can watch your favorite show. Maybe it's a rom-com, maybe it's a K-drama, okay? Right now I'm into K-dramas. So I would be like, okay, I don't like doing laundry, but it's very attractive to do laundry while I'm watching my favorite show. Therefore, I'm pairing these 2 tasks together, making it overall attractive for me. Now, in some cases, this doesn't work. So let me go to the gym and work out for 30 minutes. And then when I get back, I can have a slice of cake. In some instances, it doesn't work. So make sure that what you're making attractive is beneficial to you actually getting and seeing results in that habit. I trust that this makes sense. The 3rd law that makes a habit more susceptible to doing is making sure that it's easy. Going back to the vision board. A vision board is pretty easy to do. But if I were to tell you that in order to get your dream body, you're going to need to be in the gym 24/7, that you're going to need to affirm 500,000 times that you are enough, you are enough, you are enough, it's starting to make it not as easy. It's hard to focus. It's hard to create a habit that is not, it's very complex. So for the instance of just looking at the photo or looking at the note card and repeating it once or twice a day and really feeling the emotion of it, that in my mind, in my opinion, makes it very easy. So whatever easy means for you, and that may very well be working at the gym 24/7, but if it doesn't seem easy for you and it doesn't seem like you can incrementally work up to 24 hours a day, maybe start with 5, 10, 2 hours, and then get to the 24/7, this is what I'm talking about. This is the approach that you want to create. Maybe just 1% of changing and altering your mental diet is enough to create a new lifestyle. Now the fourth one, which again is emotion-based, making it satisfactory. When I do this, I feel good. It's leading me to feel better than how the former me reacted. And now I can test personally to this law, because there were a lot of times where I would, let's say on my weight loss journey, on my food relationship journey, I would not see eating a salad as satisfying in comparison to eating a slice of cake. Now, what I had to do was neutralize everything and make everything fundamentally meaningless when it came to food. I only saw things as energy, and whatever provided me the most energy, that's what I gravitated to. And coincidentally, if I was feeling in a lower vibration, I allowed myself to indulge in things that I saw bad previously, the former self saw as bad, because it actually did make me feel better. It did help me. But when I became adapted to this type of thought train where nothing controls me, I control it, I control the food that I consume, then it allows you to have a bit more freedom. So I started focusing in on the freedom that I had over the food. And that idea was very satisfying to me. It was more satisfying to think of the food as freedom. It's my choice to choose what food I can have, rather than seeing food as restrictive. I can't have this, I can't have that, I'm not a good person if I eat this. So this is just an example of how habits are formed. There's not one belief that you have in your life that isn't benefiting you in some way, or else you wouldn't have that belief. This is true for positive and for negative beliefs, and this is something that Bashar touches upon. Something that James Clear says in Atomic Habits is that bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change, which is going to lead me to my next point. The greatest threat to success is not failure, but boredom. We can get into a routine, and that routine will work for us, whether it's repeating affirmations, using imaginal acts, doing meditation. Over time, you become very used to it. We are constantly seeking novelty. We're constantly wanting new solutions to really the same problem. And whichever way you turn it, however you say it, whether you're James Clear, Bashar, Napoleon Hill, Neville Goddard, they're all saying the same thing in a different way. So, my challenge to you is to create the mental diet that you know is in alignment with the highest version of yourself. How do you do that? You simply ask yourself, what would the highest version of myself be thinking, feeling, and acting? You will get an answer. You will get an answer if you're willing to listen. And when you do that, being able to be gentle with this process, because it is an art. This is an art. This is a practice, okay? These are how habits are formed. You make it a practice, and you continue to practice this until one day, all of a sudden, you've dropped 40 pounds. You continued in that habit, and all of a sudden, you don't even know that older version of yourself. You remain in this reality, and you persist until it hardens into fact. One day at a time, 1% of an increment towards your solution. You know what to do. So if you feel passionate about subliminals, if you feel passionate about repeating affirmations or saying one thing over and over again in your mind, if you feel passionate about exercising and releasing stress through that, or meditating, or scripting, or visualizing. I just named a bunch of different ways to get you into the state. It's just about sticking to one thing and then allowing that 20% to net you the 80% of your results. 20% of the effort that you're doing is giving you 80% of your results. Figure out what is working best for you. And this is going to be unique for everyone. And once you figure that out, then create the habits incrementally, with passion, with gentleness, with kindness. Shame has no room for this process because, again, this is a lifestyle. You are evolving and you're not going to get it all done. So there's always going to be more. There's always going to be more to manifest, and there's always going to be more to think of. This is the elite mental diet. You have enough time, that there's no shortage of anything. And if time is going to go by anyway, then why wouldn't I dare to assume my wish fulfilled? That's all I've got for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you believe to be your best habit of your routine. I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.